This is Pete Moore on Halo Talks on location, Las Vegas at the Gold's Gym 2018 convention, the Gold's Gym Way. I'm here with Eliud Garcia, who owns clubs down in South Texas. He's from that area. We're going to talk today about becoming an entrepreneur, running a small business on your own, and raising a family, and the human side of the business, not the Excel spreadsheet side of the business.
Okay.
And then talk about, how you've turned your passion into a profession, and, what are some of the struggles of that? What are some of the accomplishments, and, how you think about what you're doing every day.
Okay.
So why don't we start off and just talk about, what your background is and how you got to where you are.
We bought into the brand in 2004. I'll talk a little before that. I went to graduate from high school from Laredo, Texas. Went to College Station, Texas A&M. Whoop, Giggle Maggies.
Aggies.
Yeah, I'm a huge Aggie fan.
Good quarterbacks. There.
Yeah. Tannehill right now with the Dolphins. Graduated from school. Went to go work for Walmart Inc., which I was actually assistant general manager at Sam's Club. So that's where I started my career. Honestly, it just worked out really well because, if you think of Sam's Club, they have a membership base. And they have sales team, retail, you run the back office, receiving, and there's just a lot of things that I incorporated the operations into the gym. So I was actually working out in a club over there in Victoria, Texas. That's where I was working at. And I ran into a buddy from elementary school. Funny thing, back in Laredo, never really spoke to the guy throughout elementary, high school, nothing. We just were in two different groups. But you see someone from back home.
Which group were you in, by the way?
I think the popular group.
Popular group. Okay, that's good.
I'm kidding.
You being popular or unpopular. That's all. Very good. Sports? Did you play sports?
I played basketball, tennis, and basketball. So,
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I quit tennis when I was a freshman to concentrate on basketball, and I was gonna go pro, but didn't work out because no, I'm kidding.
I mean, I've seen.
No Mexicans really make it in pro basketball.
Oh, really? We got to get. Maybe you were going to be the one, huh?
Yeah. No,
Damn.
I wasn't even close.
Keep up on that dream. Keep up on it.
No. And so, I ran into him, and we decided to go have a dinner and lunch. We'd go out a few times, and he actually brought up the idea of a gym. He wanted to bring that brand back home to Laredo. And it didn't end up working out the way it was. They wanted to structure the company. We weren't going to be involved in management. And with
who's they?
The gym used to be called Gym X.
Okay.
Yeah. They were a brand, and they were growing. They were around Texas, Corpus Christi. They went to Temple, Lubbock area, I think.
So you and your buddy from, not your buddy, but now your new buddy from, who went to the same high school as you.
Yeah.
End up thinking you're going to go buy this gym from them, and they didn't.
No, they wanted to expand. They wanted to franchising,
Gotcha.
and partner up with people. So that was one of the things we were going to, partner up. And like I said, we were going to have no say-so in management. They wanted to do all that. I thought I had the managerial experience, working for Walmart. I consider Walmart one of the strongest companies in the world.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, just for our listeners to understand the magnitude of how much revenue goes through a store, a Sam's Club. I mean,
I was one of the. Victoria, Texas is a small city. I think about 70,000, 80,000. It was surprising that we had a Sam's Club there, but that club will be producing roughly around 250,000 a month. Great money. Yeah. It was
250,000 in revenue or in profit.
Like profit. I don't think they gave us a profit. You know what? I'm lying. It was about 250,000 a day.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, man.
I think sorry. I was just wait. I'm thinking of gym numbers right now.
Yeah. No, Sam's Club. I know it's like there's a Walmart that we just did a deal with. We own this Dunkin' Donuts down in Myrtle Beach, and Walmart does like $95 million out of one store. So
yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy numbers. It was 250,000.
Yeah, if you're a manager, assistant manager, you're not like. People need to understand, like, this is like you're running like a little mini city.
I think the McAllen location, because I would always be able to look at the numbers, they were doing 600, 700,000 a day. Yeah, crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So
we're back with the guys that don't want to let you control the dream of the gym. So where do we go from there?
I presented the opportunity with my father. He financially backed our company. then my brother got online. He started Googling, trying to figure out a franchise, and he found Gold's Gym. And it just all, we looked at it. It was the best fit. It had the best brand recognition. And funny story is my father was looking at building a Gold's Gym in 1994.
Wow.
10 years earlier, but we were younger. I was 24 at the time. So I was 14 years old, and he always thought, well, if I'm going to invest money, I wanted to do it for my kids. So as soon as, we brought him the gym, he jumped at the idea, and then Gold's Gym. Yeah.
So he was gonna try and get a Gold's Gym in '94.
'94.
Wow.
Yeah.
But he let your brother Google what the franchise was.
No, but the funny thing is, he has the plans and everything, the old school ones, like
wow.
So he was my father worked in the finance and banking for about 20 years. Before that he worked for the United States Treasury Department. Really good at numbers. Did very, very good for himself. And he retired at 45 years old. He had 6 bypasses on his heart. And
before that?
At 45. And he decided, I'm just going to leave work. He had done very well where he was able to step away from that because he had other outside investments as well. So he was able to do that.
Was he around a lot when you were growing up, or was he like working all the time?
Yeah, working all the time. Yeah. Weekends we were at, ranch and all that. He made us work a lot. So we put in our own sprinkler system at our house. We would go cut our aunt's lawn and our lawn. He'd make us get up early in the morning, and he was very tough on us.
Now we'd have like child services or something. Like you only let your kid mow your own lawn, not profit from.
No, it was great learning experience. On hard work, and he taught us hard work, and I think that was what made us who we are today.
So fast forward, you're still your partner from high school, and you were both involved in the business?
No, it didn't work out because he stayed with that company, and we went forward with Gold's Gym.
Oh, okay.
And after a year, it was about 8-9 months. We all graduated. There's 4 of us in the business, besides my father, which is just he reviews numbers with us. I can't express how important, having someone with his financial background is to educate us and teach us on what's going on. And I think that's really what has helped our company grow and be what it is. But within 9 months, my sister was living in Houston, Texas, and she decided to come work for the family business. And then a year after that, my brother came over, and he started working for the family business. That was so in 2005, my sister came. 2006, my brother came, and then in 2011. Are you
the oldest, or?
No. I have my oldest brother, and then my oldest sister. So my oldest brother came in 2006. My oldest sister came out in 2005.
What was the interview process like for these people?
No, they let me in the business. No, they let me continue doing what I was doing. No, there was 4 of us born in 5 years, so we're very close. Yeah, we're very close. My younger sister came to work for the business in 2011. We all graduated from Texas A&M. My brother has a background in finance. My older sister has in computers IT. I have the management, and then my youngest sister has the marketing. So we had all the components so we all work together, and we all have our job in the company. So it worked out.
Does everyone live in Laredo?
Me and my younger sister live in Laredo, and my brother and older sister live in the Valley. We have clubs that are from Harlingen all the way to Laredo right now. Okay. So it's about, I would say, 200 miles between one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're spread apart. So in the Valley area, we have 5 locations, and in Laredo we have 2 locations currently.
So what does Gold's Gym represent, since you've basically created the brand there and it wasn't prevalent? So what does it mean to people in that area?
I don't know what it. I hope people see us as the leaders in fitness. They see us as I don't want to say the high-end club, but the club with the most amenities. We do a lot for our communities, so I think we have a lot of respect from our community. And this is all coming from what Gold's Gym has taught us. To community engagement and members, taking care of them, service, and I think that's what we work on. We try to provide the best service with the best amenities in town. So.
And you use ABC's one of your vendors,
correct?
So you use them for all the billing. How's that gone as you grow?
They very what I've noticed, they are trying to make my business better, and I appreciate that. They put in the time and effort, to figure out what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, what are areas we could improve to improve our business, and they've been, really good with us, and I'm happy with them.
Gotcha. So, how many Gold's Gym conventions have you been to?
I've been to 14.
Wow.
Since 04, first time we came in over here. And actually, in July of 04 is when TRT Holdings bought Gold's Gym.
Right.
So that same year is when we signed the franchises, three locations, Laredo, McAllen, and Corpus Christi.
Gotcha. So as you look at the competition coming in, has that kind of penetrated your market with some of these bigger, high volume, low cost operators?
Yeah, we have Planet Fitnesses, we have Crunch, we have Mom and Pops, and then we have another one came out of Colorado. So we have a lot of them are the high volume, low price. The Planet Fitnesses, the Crunches, True Fit. They're building monster clubs. 30, 40,000 square feet, charging $10, and it's something you have to deal with. But I've already come to the conclusion there's nothing I could do to prevent anything that happens outside our four walls. The most important thing is control your four walls. If you could control your four walls, you could. You have no control what's outside your four walls. But if you don't have the process in place to control your four walls, you're really going to struggle.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think a lot of people look at competition and they chase it down to the price point that they're at, where they try and figure out how to.
We raise our price.
Yeah, that's what you should do.
Yeah.
We talked about back in the day, once Planet started coming out, we talked about that they're the return on marketing and parking, basically. And it's like the laundromat of the fitness industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Not in a bad way. That's just what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah,
They do a great job.
There's a market for it.
Yeah, and then you got the high end guys that are really playing like a revenue per member, a revenue per family game.
Yeah.
And in the middle, you've got basically what you just said: is control the four walls, but like it's a return on relationships.
Yeah.
Like you got relationships with people where that doesn't really happen at either other side of the spectrum, because you're either not engaged at all with a human on the low end, and on the high end, you probably are more engaged with only a couple people.
Yeah.
You go to the club and use the amenities.
And I think the positive about us is that we're very involved in our business. So you could walk around our clubs, and I would say majority of the members know who we are. The regulars know who we are. Shake our hand, and I think that's important. It always feels good, like when you go to a restaurant and you're sitting there with some people and the owner comes in and shakes your hand, hey, how you doing, and all that.
Yeah, of course.
It's a good feeling, and I think everyone enjoys that, and I think that's something that we try to do on a daily basis, walking around, talking to our members, and that's part of our job.
And you think it's because you're a Gold's Gym operator, or because you might still go back and play basketball professionally at some point?
I think both. You know what? I was going to run for the mayor, so I'm kidding.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
You heard it here first on Halo Talks.
Exactly.
Eliud Garcia for 2020. 2020 Laredo. And we'll throw in a Gold's Gym membership if you vote for me.
Exactly.
You allowed to do that, maybe?
You know what? You probably will. If back in,
open gym for the next 4 years.
Yeah, why
open
not?
Gym. Cool. So just talk for a minute about, you run a family business.
Yeah.
There in my industry where it's like private equity and investment capital, and you want to grow from 5 to 10 and then 10 to 15, then to 20, and you get to this point where you get acquired and you're basically running as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And maybe not necessarily enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by your siblings that were all within 5 years of 5 years. So you guys all get to hang out. So, like, how do you define success? Is it having what you want in the town that you grew up in with all your people and people shaking your hand?
No, that isn't in my, well, at least I don't consider that success. I think success has to do with, in me personally, is my family. I think of my kids. I think, what I'm able to give my kids and do for my kids. I think that, and how they grow up as people, understanding, I think like if I look at anything, I think my father's very successful. I think he's proud of his 4 kids and what they've accomplished and the people they've grown up to be. Right. And to me, that's success. And I want to do what he's done with us for my kids. And recognition and all that. I'm actually a real quiet person. I like to be on the back end. I'm not that. I don't even have social media. You know, I'm
Well, I
very,
don't have like Facebook or
Nothing.
Twitter. Yeah, I
No.
always forget my passwords. I just forget about it.
yeah, no, nothing.
okay.
It's just not me. You know,
Interesting.
I'm a quiet guy. I keep to myself.
You're not coming across a quiet guy on this podcast. Maybe you're very
You know,
comfortable in this venue right here.
I've learned it because of the business. I had to learn to come out of my shell.
Yeah.
Before, you know, after a couple of drinks, I could probably come out of my shell. But not anymore. I don't need that anymore. You
That's
know?
great.
It's just learning.
Yeah. So as you think about what you want to do over the next, 5-10 years, if you were an executive and you're backed by an investment firm, got a 5 or 10 year time horizon, you have the ability to basically say, look, I'm not running this business to try and sell it. I'm running this business because this is what I'm trying to build in a legacy.
Yeah.
Which isn't like most of the financial markets now, because most of the financial markets are about, this is what I did and this is how fast it happened. And, so how do you, what's your plan and how do you kind of deflect from, people saying like, hey, look, that you think that's success, but that's not.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm doing is creating jobs in my community.
Yeah.
Running a profitable business. I'm having kids understand what hard work is.
Correct.
I feel like we lost some of that.
Yeah.
So I want you to keep it and don't let it go away.
Yeah, no, definitely. I completely agree with that. I think that's something where people are always looking at the bottom line and like how you're saying, just trying to build as much as you can and get as much as you can. And I don't see it like that. I see, what we've done for the community. We do the ADA, we do breast cancer, we do autism, we Sacred Hearts, where we take all the kids from the orphanage to go. I work with the guy from McDonald's. He owns some McDonald's, and we get Ronald McDonald to come out and give them all gifts for the holidays. And honestly, those are like things that I really enjoy doing. I just love showing up to the events and being like, wow, I can't believe like how much how the community has embraced us and showing my kids, giving back and how's that's important and, hard work, you could never put a price on hard work. There's my father's always told us, there's a saying in Spanish, I'll try to change it in English. But
I took Spanish until I was in 7th grade.
Well,
Mr. Prima, do you know Mr. Prima?
Mr. Prima?
Mrs. De Prima.
The
She
Prima?
was my Spanish teacher.
Did I know
back
her?
in Westbury, Long Island. No, okay.
No,
I played name association.
Yeah.
Very good. So what's the Spanish?
It sort of says like a bad word, but I guess it might be okay. It's nomás a los huevones y a los pendejos le va mal. Basically, only things happen bad to lazy people and people who make bad decisions, because, and when he means bad decisions, he means like, going down the wrong path, drug, like all the vices and,
Sure.
that you want to stay away from,
Yeah.
and
Say it again though, slower.
No más a los huevones, which are lazy.
No más a
los
huevones
y los
y los
pendejos
le va mal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, Get bad people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bad things happen to those type of people, and so he means lazy people. People who just don't put in the hard work. And I've learned a lot from him. A lot from hard work and understanding numbers and relationships and family and things of that sort. And I've been able to do that in my business where I've learned how to, because it's very difficult if you think about it. When we get together for Thanksgiving and Christmas, my gosh, at the very beginning, we were always just arguing about work.
Yeah.
And we finally realized we need to step back and not do that around family time. And we've gotten really good at that. So we've been able to separate business and family very well, as well as that we could have discussions or disagreements and heated debates. And then afterwards go and have lunch, because that's how brothers and sisters are growing up.
Yeah,
we get in a fight and we get to go play some tag outside when we were growing up, whatever it was. Or for me, it was basketball. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I played basketball, and I had a pretty strict. I don't know. She would probably say no, she wasn't, but she was a pretty strict mother, and she would show her love in multiple ways. One is like yelling at you, and then like giving you a hug like 2 minutes later,
Exactly.
and be like, okay, just call me when you get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
and that's our relationship. Also.
Fabric. Yeah. And then one of my basketball coaches used to say. I was in 9th grade basketball. I was a captain, by the way. I'm not bragging. I'm just reporting right now. Okay, cool. All right. So he used to say that I was running the plays, and then he kept yelling at me, like, always yelling, Pete, do this, do this.
Yeah.
I go up to him afterwards. I'm like, why do you keep yelling at me? He's like, because I think you could be better.
Oh, wow.
And the day that I don't yell at you is the day I don't think you got any more potential. So I'm not going to waste my time yelling at you. So hard work,
Yeah.
begets hard work.
It is. And that, and talking about that, you remember that. You remember how hard he was on you. And that's what I always say about, talk about my father, talk about, some of my professors, some of my teachers. The ones who have been most memorable in my life are the ones that were the toughest on me, because that showed me a lot, rather than the ones that let you slide, the ones that, made it easygoing or just,
It's true.
And I think that's what people forget now with, the new generation growing up. We want to be easy on these kids. We want to, make things, protect them, make things easy, simple for them. But at the end of the day, all we're doing is we're hurting them, in my opinion. Of course, I could have a debate with anyone about it because, there's different ways of thinking, but that's my opinion.
I'm on your side of that. So if you do run for mayor of Laredo, you got my vote. I don't know how far I can.
When are you going to register?
I got to register.
You got to register. There we go.
Register as a personal trainer. Get the job there.
Exactly.
Well, look, I think it's great. I'm glad we set this up.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you
and,
for the time.
If we could be helpful in anything that you do, love to do that.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll come down and see what you built.
Yeah, definitely.
And it seems awesome. And for our listeners, I think it's very important to understand, that what's being built here is not just a financial model, an Excel sheet, and
Correct.
you build a family business, you're employing a lot of people, you're making a big commitment and impact on the community. So hope everyone else can do the same.
I appreciate that.
All right, man.
Yes, thank you.
Great to meet you.
All right, thank you for the
Thanks.
time. It was great.
Awesome.